Stay behind the yellow line. Don't go on the tracks. It's not safe. Don't go on the tracks. Just in case. Don't go on the tracks. Please play nice. Don't go on the tracks. You might take the tracks.
Welcome to the launch of Along the Line, an artwork project at Ramsgreave and Wilpshire Station. I am Melanie Taylor, your host for this launch. I'm a Director of Community Rail Lancashire, a Project Officer for Connecting East Lancashire, and a Senior Transport Planner at Blackburn with Darwen Borough Council. I am personally very honoured to have been asked to host this launch. However, we have a number of guests today who would like to share their thoughts of the project. Why are we all here today? Well, for those of you that are not aware, this artwork project was one of 3 funded by the Department for Transport's Connecting East Lancashire project. The project aimed to promote and encourage sustainable transport. One area was to focus on improving access to and to support the use of our local railway stations. After auditing all of our East Lancashire rail stations, Accrington, Briarfield and Ramsgreave and Wilpshire were the stations chosen to invest in some artwork, combining local artists with the local community. The Ramsgreave and Wilpshire project has superbly engaged with numerous local community organisations and schools, all led by the fantastic and inspirational artist Karen Allerton, who will be here and talking shortly. Inspired by the pupils of Ribblesdale High, the name Along the Line was born. This inspiring project highlights places to travel along the line, the history of the station, and the memories that people have. I am sure, Karen, you would agree that without the sterling effort and enthusiasm from Platform Gallery, Blackburn Museum, Ribblesdale High School, Blackburn College photography students, Child Action Northwest, and the Alzheimer's Society, none of this would have been possible. And I thank you all for your fantastic efforts in creating what is a beautiful piece of artwork. I would now like to hand over to Chris Hadfield, the Access Fund Manager, to share his few words.
Initially, thank you to Ribblesdale High School and Blackburn College for finding the space in their already packed timetables, particularly the way that that schools have been struggling at the moment to try and get stuff done to allow their students to engage and deliver the tremendous end product that we've got on the station. Thank you also to Northern and Network Rail for allowing us to take the project forward and supporting the local community effectively to take great pride in their station. Thank you to Caroline and Huckleberry Films for charting the progress that we made through very tricky set of circumstances over the last 12 months or so, various lockdowns, restrictions, making things more difficult, and for producing the film that we're going to see in a few minutes. Now to the ones that I know a bit better, try and appreciate the blood, sweat and tears that went into the production of all this artwork. Cheryl Stanford from Blackburn and Caroline Holden, who had 2 hats on during the project. She was initially working at LCC as part of the Connecting East Lancashire team, but subsequently moved on to work for Community Rail Lancashire as well. Between them, they've driven this project forward through thick and thin, and as we'll see sort of later on, it's developed into a tremendous success. And finally, for me, the key part in this has been Karen Allerton, who's been the artistic drive behind the project, and the critical eye who's brought forward the quality of the final product to the exceptional standard that we've ended up with.
Now, what I'm going to say is going to be the star of the show and the moment that we've all really been looking forward to. May I please introduce the first showing of the Ramsgreave and Wilpshire launch film.
We've been installing some artwork that's been quite a long-running project. We're here at Ramsgreave and Wilpshire Station, and there are some really big pieces of artwork going up that look stunning.
The Connected East Lancashire project team have done a sterling job in working with local schools, local societies, local colleges to work with our local artists to create this beautiful artwork.
You can see this one behind me, and this is a really lovely collection of photographs that are a mixture of ones taken by students at Blackburn College and ones that are from the Talbot Archive. We've also installed the artworks from Ribblesdale High School, where the pupils there just wanted to create something that was fun and colourful and beautiful, and I think they've achieved that really well.
I don't think many people will have the opportunity to make a mark at a train station or a place like that.
I manage the community element, so I was very keen to involve some local communities. In this case, it was the Alzheimer's Society. We've gathered all their thoughts and memories, and they're now installed on the walkway down to both platforms.
We've got some bits and pieces in the shelters that tell the tale of the local orphanage and also a little bit about the history of the line. We've also tried to put in a little bit more signage, but in a fun way.
It shows that the station is a community place and that people in the community have been involved. People are happier to come away to the station that looks like it's being loved.
I think it's a wonderful experience. It's lovely to see the completion of all the hard work we've done, and I think it's just wonderful.
If someone's having a bad day at work, they're going to go to the train station and they're going to just see all like the bright colours and all the fun stuff on the walls, and it might make them happy, so that makes me happy.
Well, I hope you all really enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. And I'm sure you will all agree that a virtual round of applause is duly deserved. Well done, everyone. Now, none of this work would have been possible without the creativity, the enthusiasm and the passion of our local artist, Karen Ellerton. And I would now like to invite Karen to say a few words.
It has been just a stunning project. I have thoroughly enjoyed every single part of it, and I've met some incredible people that have shared both their art, their stories and their passions. I think you've mentioned virtually everybody there that I've worked with, and that is just so lovely to hear, so thank you to everyone. There's been a couple more people that have just helped along as well. I suppose it's Pete Graham, who sourced the Talbot Archive, Jenna Gardner, who's the tutor at Blackburn College, who also shared the story of Blackburn Orphanage. I'd like to thank Blackburn Orphanage or CAMWA, Child Action Northwest, for allowing me to share their story, and to Jenna Gardner for sharing her family's story of the orphanage. There are just so many people, honestly, that have been involved that I would like to thank all of you. I probably don't have time to do that, but yeah, it's been fabulous and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Lovely. Many thanks, Karen. Thank you for those words. Many students already actually use the line to get to school, and the involvement from Ribblesdale High School initially inspired the project with the devising of Along the Line. Please now let me introduce Nikki Ainscore to say a few words from Ribblesdale High School.
I just want to say what an amazing opportunity it was for our students. They were all 12 and 13 years old when they were doing this work. Massively inspired by Karen. Her energy was just infectious. It was a lot of hours after school that the students put in, and the outcome is just absolutely incredible. So our students, it's really inspired them. Everything that we did, we took them to Manchester, to the art gallery, to the craft centre, and I'm hoping it's going to inspire future careers for those students involved. So we were just honoured to be a part of it. So thank you very much.
Lovely. Thank you, Nikki. I'm so glad Ribblesdale High School have been represented today. With your involvement has been, well, 110%, and it's just wonderful to see you here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the artwork that now appears at Ramsgreave and Wilpshire Station, not only do we want it to benefit those already using the station, but to hopefully inspire others to use our local rail network. I would now like to invite Carolyn Watson, the Director of Stakeholder and Community Engagement for Northern.
But I wanted to reflect. I've seen that video a couple of times now, and every time I see it, it just makes me smile. Thank you to everybody that's made that happen, and I'm sure it'll continue. We manage about 500 stations nearly right across the north of England. They're all different shapes and sizes. But for Northern, there's something that we want that's common to all of them, and that's about creating a welcoming environment. It's about making people want to use those stations, want to visit, and really kind of being a part of the community that they serve. So people want to come and visit, or people want to take the opportunity to go elsewhere and see where the train can take them. And projects like this just really help that happen. And I think they make stations somewhere that's a destination in their own right. I'll come back to that in a little minute, but we want people to have a sense of ownership and pride in their station as well. And people have touched on that already today. But we know from other examples at other locations, even where we tend to suffer a little bit of antisocial behaviour and vandalism, if people have taken part in a project that creates that sense of ownership, and they can say either I created that, or my friend did, or somebody from my family, it has a really, really positive impact in helping people want to kind of not only use the station but take ownership and pride in what's there. Like most of you, I've not been lucky enough to go and see the artwork in person, but I can't wait until that's possible, because the first time I saw the film, I just went, wow, it really does brighten it up, it brings it to life. And I think, you know, we want our stations to be destinations and for people to go and visit. This isn't just a station now, it's an art gallery, it's a museum, it's a historical society. And I think one of the things unique that really touched us about this project is the fact that it's involved so many different people from around the community, so different skill sets that people have learned, because it's not just about what it does for Northern and the railway and for encouraging people to travel, but actually what it meant for people taking part in the project. So new skills, new friends, and bringing those memories and history to life. I'm really passionate about understanding where we've all come from and how society has developed as it has. So I look forward and going to read those memories. So for me, thank you to everybody involved. It's really sad we can't be at the station today, but we're all staying at home, keeping ourselves safe and keeping others safe. There will be a time when we're encouraging more people back onto the trains and getting people to travel again and to realise what transport can bring. So for all those people who are going to use the station in the future, thank you to everybody involved. An absolutely fantastic project, and we're really happy to support. Thank you.
Many thanks, Caroline. Does anybody have any comments or any questions for anybody?
Catherine Rogers has put, can't wait to get up close to see all the stories and see all the different elements. Well done. And she says, Karen, thank you for all your work.
I'm Peter Easton, for those who don't know me. I'm Secretary of the Ribble Valley Rail User Group. And I just wanted to let you know that one of our members, Ken Roberts, was caretaker of the station from 1993 when the railway reopened, up till just a few years ago, just before he was 90 years of age. He's now virtually blind, he's in isolation, but I was able to phone him, so I was able to see the beautiful artwork. I think it's wonderful. So I was able to tell him, he's very pleased. He was quite a well-known railway photographer, and he's very pleased that you've been able to use some of his photographs of the old Wilpshire station in the artwork on platform 2. So just a word of thanks from Ken for all that you've done. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Peter. That's lovely to hear. It really is. I could see Karen smiling there, making her happy. So that's lovely to hear.
Jenna Gardner says, thank you from Blackburn College and Blackburn University, because it's projects like these that enrich our students' educational experience. And Cheryl Sanford said, you'll be impressed when you see it in reality. Lovely colours, but so much information. You need to allow time to read it. So interesting and informative. And, Vicky Harrison, thanks, Karen, for everything. The pupils loved it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank Ribblesdale in particular, because their work and their effort and just their inspirational school was just like art room was incredible, and the pupils there are just this driving force of positivity, and it was just a really wonderful experience. So thank you again.
Thanks, Karen. Felicity says the breadth of style of the artwork is fantastic and very reflective of a community approach. Have you collated a list of the different groups who you engaged with and shared it with them?
The majority of people that have been involved have seen their bits and pieces at the station and seen images of it, but I think there's a few that possibly haven't now. and that's possibly the Alzheimer's group, and it would be lovely to go in and share them something with them.
Elaine Jennings says it would be great to share some of the pictures on our Blackburn with Darwin Dementia Action Alliance social media so that people can visit once restrictions are relaxed, and she's just asked Cheryl to send us some photographs. Richard Watts, I believe, has a question.
All I wanted to say, it wasn't a question, all I wanted to say is a very big thank you. I'm not going to list everybody, but a very big thank you to everybody who has had a hand in this particular project. It's been a fascinating one, and I think we can all be very proud of the product that we've got now at Ramsgreave and Wilpshire, and it redoubles my thoughts about how we promote Ramsgreave and Wilpshire Station as it said in that very big picture that was in the film, it's a gateway to the Ribble Valley. And bearing in mind that we're now looking at trying to extend the service in the Ribble Valley up to Hellifield, that makes it even more of a gateway, not just to the Ribble Valley, but actually beyond the Ribble Valley as well. So an exciting project, and I'm really pleased we've been able to bring it to a very successful conclusion.
Thanks, Richard. Rebecca says she can't wait to get up there and see the artwork finished firsthand. Sue Cotton, it's been great to be part of this and share the history of our charity Child Action Northwest and the work we do. Thanks so much for allowing us to be part of this.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody who's been involved, as everybody else has been too, but especially the local contacts and people like the Friends of the Station and the Clitheroe Line CRP family. It's Catherine Rogers at the Platform Gallery and Cheryl Sanford with her contacts locally. All those local contacts helped us to get connected with the college, with Ribblesdale High School and the Rat Likes, and that's what's made it. So thank you from me too.
I think I would like to say thank you to everyone too, because the support from the commissioners that I've received throughout this project has just been incredible, and it's just been wonderful working with you, Caroline. So thank you ever so much too. But everybody has been so supportive, so helpful, and so encouraging. It's just been amazing. So thank you all.